Welcome back, focused learners, to another explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly fascinating philosophical framework from our source material. And honestly, this is going to completely reshape how we think about navigating interpersonal dynamics, stepping into leadership, and achieving genuine career growth. If you've ever felt that frustrating friction with the older generation at work, or if you've been wondering when it's finally your turn to step up and lead, the concepts we're about to unpack are going to radically shift your perspective.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want you to ask yourself, what is the absolute most important thing a new leader must keep in mind? We're actually bypassing a traditional agenda today, because answering this single, crucial question takes us on a journey that challenges pretty much every piece of conventional wisdom you've ever heard about leadership and dealing with the establishment.
To answer that, we have to look at the chronological arc of a career. So let's jump right into Section 1, the start of a 40-something first-timer, and look at the ideal timing for a professional's debut.
Okay, the number 40. It's a massive deal in this framework. The source argues that your mid-40s is the precise correct age to finally enter the arena and unfold your ideas. Why? Well, because your 30s are basically meant to be a training montage. They're strictly designated for quiet study, observation, and deep preparation. So if you're stepping into a first-time lawmaker role or a major management position in your 40s, you are right on schedule. You've spent the necessary years absorbing knowledge, and now it's finally time to deploy it.
And when you do finally step up, you bring something absolutely essential with you. Think of your fresh education as a much-needed software update for the established system. The older generation, they've been running the world using the education and paradigms of their specific era. As a newcomer who spent the last decade intensely studying our modern reality, you represent a necessary upgraded version of those old methods.
Now, here is a really reassuring point from the source. If your upgraded paradigm, your new ideas, are truly high quality, you don't actually need to force them down anyone's throat. The laws of nature and human conscience dictate that the older generation will naturally recognize and validate them. They literally won't be able to escape the undeniable logic of a genuinely better, modern idea.
But let's be real, things rarely go perfectly on the first try, which brings us to Section 2, humility to accept critique and the friction between young reformers and the old guard.
Let's say you roll out your brilliant new ideas, and bam, the higher-ups immediately find flaws. Your first instinct is probably defensiveness, right? But if they find a flaw, it simply means your idea isn't perfect yet. Think of it like bug testing. Receiving critique from the establishment is not a personal attack. It's just an indicator that your software update still has a few bugs. According to the source, a true student of leadership must eagerly want to be corrected, because that is literally the only way to discover what you couldn't see yourself.
This right here is the crossroads every single new leader faces. If you rebel against critique, you halt your own growth. You end up isolating yourself with toxic peers who only want to sit around and complain, and you just get stuck. But if you humbly accept the critique, you absorb the missing pieces from your superiors, and that directly leads to upgraded skills and massive personal growth.
So we've got a super clear 3-step formula for a first-time leader. First, unfold your new ideas with absolute humility. Second, when the establishment pushes back, accept that critique graciously. And third, use that feedback to double your skill level and try again. The source heavily stresses that true, lasting skill is multiplied through this exact cycle of humility, not through arrogant rebellion. Now, displaying that kind of humility means we need to completely rethink professional etiquette. Let's look at Section 3, what are true manners?
A lot of times, we think of manners, which the source refers to in its cultural context as as these rigid, forced physical gestures, bowing perfectly or nodding at exactly the right time just to appease an elder. While the source completely debunks this. True manners are actually an organic byproduct. They are a natural attitude that arises entirely automatically when you possess proper knowledge and hold genuine respect for the person in front of you.
This means that trying to artificially copy someone else's specific mannerisms, it's actually fake. Manners are not fixed at all. They vary wildly based on your unique personality, your background, and how you naturally express respect. The source argues you really shouldn't waste your time practicing how to physically act polite. Instead, equip yourself properly with knowledge and genuine respect, and the correct, authentic manners will just naturally flow out of you.
The source hits the nail on the head with this quote right here. If you respect the citizens, you will know how to treat them. Your internal state automatically dictates your external behavior. And this doesn't just apply to citizens, by the way. It applies directly to how you treat your seniors and the establishment as well.
Which naturally leads us to ask, well, why should we respect them? Let's get into Section 4, Reason to Respect Seniors, and look at the old guard not as obstacles, but as vital assets.
Let's actually break down what the establishment currently holds. They have decades of hard-earned experience. They've got extensive, deeply interconnected networks. They hold solid societal positions, and they control significant economic power. When you realize all this, respect transitions from being just some polite moral obligation into an absolute strategic necessity. If you want to get things done as a newcomer, you simply cannot succeed without tapping into this reservoir.
And hey, even if you think the establishment's current knowledge is a little outdated or flawed, remember this. They built their foundational knowledge the hard way, in an era with way fewer resources than we enjoy today. Think about it. No search engines, no AI. Their sheer foundational effort to build the society and infrastructure that you are stepping into deserves immense, unquestionable respect, recognizing that history is the true foundation of manners.
And that brings us to our final piece of the puzzle, Section 5, True Power Gained Through Respect. How do you actually unlock this massive influence held by the older generation?
All right, here is the harsh reality. If you look at a senior and you only judge them by their current flaws, or their outdated habits, or maybe their annoying behaviors, and you refuse to respect them, you cut yourself off completely. You will never inherit their accumulated power. The source makes this crystal clear. A senior will not pass down their influence, their network, or their resources to a junior who looks at them with disdain. No way.
But when you actually apply this, it kicks off an incredible chain reaction. Step 1 is totally on you. You must actively dig and find a genuine reason to respect your mentor or senior. Once you find it, Step 2 happens automatically. Genuine manners naturally appear in your behavior. Because of this authentic respect, Step 3 triggers. The senior feels it. They don't feel threatened by you, so they willingly reach down to hold your hand. And finally, in Step 4, they elevate you. You inherit their power and network, officially merging your fresh software update with their massive systemic influence.
It's a profound, absolute game changer for how we view mentorship, criticism, and career growth. Instead of fighting the old guard, you have to understand them to unlock your own potential. So I want to leave you with a provocative question to really chew on. Who is the senior in your life or career that you've been quietly criticizing? And what immense power of theirs are you currently missing out on because of it? Think about that, try applying this new framework, and we will catch you in the next explainer.